This Georgia heat may be relentless, but nothing compares to the scorching anticipation of a brand new NFL football season. After months of mock drafts, free agency signings, and the OTA hype of the minicamp, the wait is finally over. The hollowed turf of Mercedes-Benz Stadium is once again alive with the roar of the crowd as the Atlanta Falcons kicked off their preseason campaign against the Detroit Lions at home in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This wasn't just a scrimmage for a fan base hungry for a championship. This is our first chance at seeing if the all-season move that we made have translated into on-field success. What's up, Falcon family, Dirty Bird Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Atlanta Falcons Pandemic, a show built for the fans by the fans. The heartbeat of the Dirty Birds faithful, where my fellow pandemics never waver and the passion never dies. I am your host, Manuel McFarland, the trusted voice of the diehard Falcon fans who live and breathe this team. Welcome to Atlanta Falcons Pandemic post-game reaction of the Falcons Detroit Lions face-off. This first preseason game is a showcase for the future, a moment to dissect the potential of our rookies and undrafted free agents who have been grinding all summer long. We're not just watching the scoreboard. Matter of fact, we turned it off. We're not even worried about scoring. We weren't worried about scoring. We were analyzing every rep, every snap, every play to find the hidden gems and future stars who will define the next era of Falcons football. What was supposed to be a standard preseason tune-up ended up with players from both teams at the 50-yard line, not for a post-game handshake, but for a silent, unified prayer. The final score, which was never officially reached, didn't matter. It was all about a single terrifying play that brought the NFL community to its knees and reminded everyone just how quickly a routine play can turn into a serious situation. But from that scary moment, a story of incredible relief and true sportsmanship emerged. The preseason opener between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions was shaping up to be a classic, a back-to-back full of explosive plays and momentum-killing turnovers. But all of that was overshadowed late in the game in a moment that silenced the entire stadium. Lions safety Maurice Norris went down with a serious head and neck injury while making a tackle on Falcons running back Nathan Carter. As medical staff rushed to his side, he was eventually transported to a local hospital. We all know it was Grady. Best hospital in the world. The football world held its breath. Thankfully, the news that was followed was overwhelmingly positive. But guys, Norris himself posted an update to let everyone know he was okay. He was thanking fans and players for the flood of support. In a powerful show of unity, both teams agreed to suspend the game, rallying around their brother in that critical moment. Now, while the game ended early, the action we saw before the injury gave us a great look at what both of these teams are bringing to the table for the 2025 season. The game kicked off with plenty of drama, putting the Lions quarterback situation right under the microscope. First and foremost, right away. Hendon Hooker, who was trying to lock down the primary backup spot, had a rough start. Our Falcons defense was relentless. Our pass rush was relentless on him. On the very first drive, the Falcons pass rush was all over him, and he lost his first fumble of the night, giving Atlanta a fantastic field position. It was a huge mistake that swung the early momentum. Then in the second quarter, it happened again. Under pressure, Hooker coughed up the ball for a second time, a turnover that raised some serious questions and hurt his case for the backup job. Those two fumbles were the story of the first half and led the Falcons coaches to make a change. That also shows, guys, that what we have coming together on that defensive side of the ball for the Falcons, we're going to be fast to the ball. It's going to be a team meeting at the ball. We're fast, we're younger, and we're being coached by one of the greats, Jeff Albrecht, who has become one of the game's masterminds at putting together a defense like this. Let's hope that he's able to bring that same energy, same focus here to Atlanta. But taking over for Hendon Hooker, Kyle Allen came in, and the entire field of the Lakers offense, what in the world? Lions offense changed. Allen was poised, confident, and didn't just manage the game, he lit it up. His biggest play came on a perfect play action fake where he launched a beautiful deep ball to receiver Jackson Meeks for a massive 68-yard gain. It was a play that showed off Allen's arm and gave the Detroit Lions sideline a huge shot of energy. But building on that big play, Allen led a brilliant touchdown drive, finishing it with an 11-yard scoring pass to rookie wideout Isaac Tesla. And I think who was it? D. Alford that was on that on the defense end of that. And this wasn't just any touchdown. Tesla made a spectacular leap and grab going right over D. Alford to snatch the ball right over D. Alford's head. It was a welcome to the NFL moment for the rookie and Tesla, and a major statement from Kyle Allen, who was making it clear he wanted that QB2 job. Now, to me, guys, D. Alford I like what he showed during the preseason and early in the season in 2024. But as the season went along, he seemed to have adjustment problems. He seemed to lose focus of what was, his job at hand. And he wasn't just used by receivers in 1-2 games. It was every game after that. It was, and if I had to say he was on a hot seat, he would definitely be on that hot seat. But meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons decided to rest our top defensive starters, sitting both starting quarterback Michael Penix and veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins. That gave Easton Stick to start, and he was a model of efficiency. He surprised me, guys. He really did. No one thought that Easton Stick was going to come out like that and not only perform the way he did, but manage the way he did. And you talk about calm, poise. Yes, Allen came in making big plays for Detroit, but we came in right behind him with Easton Stick and but Stick put together a heck of a performance, ending 15 of his 18 passes for 149 yards. His performance was all about accuracy and smart plays, proving he's got a strong handle on the offense. And like I said, guys, this was a performance put on by someone that no one saw coming. We knew he could play quarterback, but to play to this level, guys, I didn't think so. But, he came in and proved his worth. That third quarterback spot, I ain't gonna say if we decide to keep a third quarterback, we're going to keep one. But Stick's great play paid off late in the first half when he led the Falcons on a key scoring drive. He capped it off with a perfect 13-yard touchdown to receiver Chris Blair, which kept Atlanta right in the game. Chris Blair, to me, guys, is going to earn that spot. Whether it be the 4th, 5th, or 6th spot, he's going to be that. He's going to be on this roster. Not only that, as a receiver, but he's also a very well-rounded special teams player. So he's going to be on this 53-man roster. I don't have a doubt that he won't be. We're not seeing a whole lot of Nick Nash. He caught 2 passes, but we didn't see Nick Nash a whole lot. We didn't see Casey Washington was on the field. They didn't go to him like I thought they would. I thought Casey Washington was going to be a bigger part in this game against Detroit. Now, we do have 2 more regular season games, and I'm hoping to see more of Casey Washington and Nick Nash. Drummond played a big part in this game. He's a bigger guy, bigger receiver, not as fast as Nick Nash, but uh, just as well rounded. But when the game was eventually suspended, the Lions were holding on to a 17-10 lead, a score that became an unofficial final. The final score, a 17-10 loss to the Lions, is largely irrelevant. Like I said, we turn in the Falcons' eyes, guys. We turn the scoreboard off. We don't in the preseason. A lot of us, most of us who know what we're looking for, uh, we don't consider the scoreboard, especially when all of your starters are sitting. We got the undrafted free agents in, we got the camp invites in, free agency signings, second, third string, in some cases fourth string. So it's we're not concerned with the win loss in preseason. It's nice to pull off that win, but when you try to put together when you have made so many moves like what we made in the off season, guys, you're not concerned with the clock. You're concerned with how players are playing, how they've developed during the short time that they've made it here. It's a very short time period with a huge learning curve. So, and they have to get it put together in a matter of a month or two. So, yeah, this is not about the score. Scoreboard is off. All right, but the final score, like I said, was 17-10, a loss to the Lions, nonetheless. But like I said, it was largely irrelevant. The true story lies in the individual performances and the glimpse of the team's new identity under a new coaching staff. And for us guys, we have Jeff Albrecht, who's come in replacing former defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake. We had a couple of promotions that happened. Interstaff promotion that happened. We have a new. I'm not gonna say he's new. He's been around. Doug Williams' son. He's here as the quarterbacks coach, and the old offensive passing coach got moved up into his spot. So, like I said, we got people in new places. Raheem Morris is in his second year. This is going to be fairly new for him. Zach Robinson. Hopefully, he's going to, and he still has to learn, guys. He has a lot of new people on this side of the ball too. So, he's still learning his team. But as far as the starter goes, I'm looking for a lot coming out of Zach Robinson. What I was looking for in this game against Detroit was his ability to call plays according to how the situation was going and not just be calling plays, right? So, and that's what it was all about. But beyond the quarterback duo, guys, this game gave us our first look at some key rookies, new strategies for both teams. For the Falcons, the big focus was on the pass rush, which was one of the worst in the league last season. They threw their top rookie edge rushers in there, Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., right in action, starting both of them. And you could see their speed and power challenging the Lions' offensive line. And it was, if you paid attention to it, no, they didn't get the sack numbers that everybody was anticipating, but you saw the potential, right? You could see the speed, you could see the power coming from those guys. You could see the attention that they was drawing in from them. And James Pierce was almost double teamed just about the whole game. Just about the whole game. He drew a lot of attention. But it's exciting to see a defense like this fly to the ball with the speed and determination that they did, right? And they brought the pressure because even though Kyle Allen looked good back there, he was under pressure a lot. Hendon Hooker, he didn't have a chance he didn't have a chance in the world. And that's what we wanted to see from this offense that we spent a lot of time on. I'm not gonna say we spent a lot of money. And people say that we spent a lot trying to get James Pearson. Third round pick. Yeah, we gave up first round pick. Teams do that all the time. If you feel like the pick that's worth it, by all means, go do it. Do what it takes to go get him. We just hope that the player live up to expectations. But the Lions were also breaking in some of their own highly talented rookies. Top defensive line pick Talik Williams got a lot of playing time. Rookie right guard Tate Rutledge got his first real taste of the NFL. These early snaps were priceless for the young linemen on both sides of the ball. Detroit's defense, was already dealing with some bad news after losing cornerback Enos Rakestraw Jr. for the season just before the game. This was the first test to see how they'll adjust and their ability to still generate pressure, showing the kind of depth that they're trying to build. And guys, that has become the new agenda uh, for us, and not just us across the league, really. And that's to come out of these OTAs, these mini camps, these team on team practices, injury with the at least injuries as possible, right? And although I am not a fan of sitting players, I am not that guy. Uh, I've always believed in that the best way to learn to play football is to play football. So, and how you do that, you practice, right? But I kind of I'm on the fence about it, right? So, but I believe that players should come in, practice, and get it in. Even in preseason games, I would like to have seen Penix uh, at least do one series. I would like to have seen our starters do one series, and then after that, sit 'em. And I would like to see the starters do one series a game, if not the last game. Probably get in more, probably two, maybe three series in that game. Probably even a full half out of them. But I would like to see more out of the starters. And after having a long layoff like that, guys, you want to come back and bring your body back into football shape, right? It's not like the NBA where these players find these leagues across the country and across seas that they can go play in, and a lot of them do that. So, but most of these guys in the NFL, a lot of these guys go home and jump on a video game or something, or just relax. And I know it's a tough season. You want to go home and get your body, well rested to be able to come back. But there's such thing as called football shake. And I hate to do this, but the prime example was Matthew Judon when he left New England, when he showed up for Falcon camps. He didn't look like the same person he was when he was in Minnesota or New England. When he came back, he was kind of out of shape, but then you saw a little bit. Okay, he might be just need to get back into practice, and he'll get in shape. And it seemed like he was going there, and then all of a sudden, going down through the season, he just looked sloppier and sloppier. His shirt was not tucked in no more. It hung out like a fat boy. The sleeves that used to be his red sleeves that used to be tight on his arm, they got real baggy. So, and of course, the shirt could have been too big, but at the same time, he just looked out of shape and slow. So, and he didn't live up to expectations. But anyway, this is about the talk of the Detroit Lions. But the quarterback story was the big one, right? But for Detroit, it was a night and day difference between their two guys. Hendon Hooker, whose fumbles were mostly uh, costly mistakes that killed drives. In this league, you have to protect the ball, and those turnovers really defined his night. And we had a turnover as well. So, but it wasn't as I'm not gonna say as expected, but he is a rookie. And well, no, is he a rookie? I don't know. But anyway, uh, it happens. This preseason, you're gonna make those mistakes. I'm gonna call them rookie mistakes. You're gonna make them. Kyle Allen, on the other hand, was all about the big plays and clutch moments. His 68-yard bomb and the touchdown to Tesla are exactly what the coaches, I'm pretty sure, but they were waiting to see that part because uh, Detroit has high hopes for this kid. You talk about a kid that exudes Detroit football. From a kid all the way up through college, through to the NFL. He was a Detroit fan. So, but Hendon Hooker, man, I think I don't know what his problem was. Couldn't keep the ball in his hand, missing reads. So, but he might get it together. He's a solid quarterback, but he just didn't do it the other night. For the Falcons, Easton stick performance was reassuring, proving they have a solid third stringer who can step in and run the offense without missing a beat. And that was our concern, guys, too. Which one of these young guys that we have in the uh, as backups behind Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins, which one is going to step up and show that they can run this offense? But as the game headed into its final quarter, the focus suddenly shifted from roster spots to that frightening moments with Maurice Norris. And like I said, prayers out to him, and for whatever he's feeling, speedy recovery. But the energy in the stadium just completely vanished. A hush fell over the crowd as medical staff from both teams sprinted over the field. And from what felt like an eternity, players from both of the Falcons and the Lions took a knee. Their faces filled with concern, with reasonably so. But he got stabilized. He got took off the field. He tended and almost immediately, wasn't too long after the game where he started tweeting that everything was okay. So, shout outs to him. Hopefully he'll be able to come back and help his team out. But the positive update to that story, like I said, he responded, letting everybody know he was okay, letting his family know that he was okay. But after the game, the coaches and the players from both teams all agreed that suspending the game was the right thing to do. And I get it, guys. I get it. Injuries happen, right? But it's the preseason. You don't never want anybody hurt, right? But there was a lot of people saying that, well, the game could have still, could have kept going. Guys, it's the preseason. You're trying to keep everybody. And it was the fourth quarter. I wonder if it had been early in the game, would that have happened? But it was the fourth quarter, 14 minutes left. I mean, give it a rest. If you haven't seen it by then, you won't see it. I mean, it would have been good to see if Atlanta would be able to, put together a drive and come back and take over, the game and pull out the win. But at the end of the day, guys, we want everybody to go home healthy, whether you're a Lion or a Falcon. But like I said, shout out to Maurice Norris and wishing him even speedier recovery. But this game was a wild ride of emotions and big plays. What was your biggest takeaway from the Falcons Lions preseason clash? What was your takeaway? Who did you like seeing? Did you get to see who you wanted to see? Give us that answer in the comments, guys. Let us know which player stood out to you the most. I wanted to see Joshon Corbin, right? It's the running back that we grabbed out of the UFL. I was hoping to see a lot of him. He's presumably I'm going to say he's going to end up being the third running back, for this team, the number 3 running back. Let's put it like that. But I don't think I saw him at all. I need to look at that list. Matter of fact, let's see. There is a list that showed who played and who did not. And I did not see him play. They do not have this list in alphabetical order either. So, but they said he was dressed. They say he was dressed. So, it's one of those things that, like I said, I wish that I could have saw a lot of him. I wanted to see some more of Bertrand. He didn't play. Let's see who else. Yeah, that's really who I really wanted to see. Didn't get to see a whole lot of Xavier Watson, a whole lot of coverages. Didn't get to see a whole lot of. Now, what's his name? Billy Bowman Jr. Guys, we couldn't tell if he wanted to be a linebacker or a safety. That guy was. I mean, he was coming down the box playing like, oh my goodness. But he produced. He produced. The one person that stood out, man, to me, not that it was a surprise, DeMarco Hellams. And guys, look out for the video I have coming out on him too. The update I have on him too. His content. I enjoyed doing that one. There was a lot of stuff in there I did not know, but like I said, look out for that video on DeMarco Hellams coming up next. But Natron Brooks as well made a lot of plays, but DeMarco Hellams was in a zone. He was in a zone. I don't know if you guys paid attention into the intro where I showed the hit that was called back that he was penalized for, and it definitely was not a penalty. He led with the shoulders. He actually waited on the guy. It seemed that way anyway. He almost ran through. That's what he should have done. He should have just ran through him, but it almost like he waited on him with his shoulder, right? So I can't wait to see what DeMarco Hellams can do for the rest of this season. I mean, before his injury last year, guys, he was doing much of the same thing, bringing the wood, and rightly so. He's earned the name Hickman, and but people are saying and comparing him to how Ken O'Neal came into the league. I don't. Yes, Ken O'Neal did get quite a few hits in, but I don't think that it was to this impact. DeMarco Hellams had people second guessing on whether or not to catch that ball. I mean, he was laying the wood and he was letting them know, hey, I'm not the one that's gonna miss tackles. I am not that guy. So shout out to DeMarco Hellams on his return. Uh Very nice job, very well done. But guys, like I said, let me know in the comments what was your biggest takeaway from the Falcons Lions game. Which player stood out to you the most? Did you get to see who the player that you wanted to see? But like I said, let me know in the comments. And if you want to keep up with all the highlights and the biggest stories from the NFL preseason, Falcon wise, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And please, guys, thank you guys so much for keeping me making this type of content. I have, let's see, I'm just shy of 1,000 subscribers, so it's growing. It's growing, and it's because of you guys, and I surely appreciate it. I really do. But in conclusion, guys, so while the Falcons and the Lions game will always be remembered for its scary and abrupt ending, there's still a ton to talk about from the action on the field. The Lions might have a serious battle for their backup quarterback spot, while with Kyle Allen's explosive plays making a huge difference. The Falcons, on the other hand, uh, can feel pretty good about their depth after Easton Stick's super efficient and calm performance. He was poised, guys. I can't say it again enough. But we saw promising debuts from rookies on both sides, especially Atlanta's new pass rushers and the incredible touchdown catch from Detroit, Isaiah. Well, I don't know why I want to keep saying Isaac Tesla. In the end, this turnover heavy game finished with an amazing display of sportsmanship. And most importantly, the fantastic news of Morris again, his positive recovery. Looking ahead, the Lions get ready for Miami, the Miami Dolphins, while the Falcons will have a joint practice with the Tennessee Titans before the next game. But like I said, this is a wrap for this one. A salute to all of you once again. I appreciate you. Please spread the word. The podcast is going to jump off this year, guys. It's going to happen. I kept putting it off last year. It's going to happen this year, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get you all in there. So thank you once again. And thank you for building one of the best communities there is, and look forward to much, much more content and updates coming your way. So stay tuned. Until the next time we're able to get together, guys, do as we always do. Continue to rise up. All right, Pandemic family, that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sharing your passion for our Atlanta Falcons with us. Your energy and support are what make this community truly special. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a 2 thumbs up, leave a comment below with your thoughts, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our exciting content. And seriously, don't forget to hit that notification bell right next to that subscribe button so that you'll be the first to know when we drop new videos about our beloved Dirty Birds. And as always, continue to rise up, and we'll see you in the Super Bowl.